Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back to another edition of the EdWord. I am your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing my reaction to the teaser concept art for Toho Company's reboot of their Godzilla franchise, and my reaction to the first official clip of Jurassic World. Appropriately enough, I am wearing one of my many Jurassic Park shirts. This one says "Clever Girl," for those of you who can't see it, but I'm proud of it. Anyway, so moving on to the Toho announcement. So the Japanese, of course, want to cash in on the latest Godzilla craze because, you know, the American reboot, which debuted last summer, Godzilla, directed by Gareth Edwards, was a huge hit. Critically and financially. So, of course, Warner Brothers is developing a sequel with Gareth Edwards once again helming the director's chair, and Max Borenstein is writing it once again, so that's great. And Toho Company, the ones who originally have the rights to Godzilla, are now rebooting their own franchise. And they have selected the two directors. Their names, of course, I cannot remember or most likely cannot properly pronounce. The same two directors who are currently working on the live-action film Attack on Titan, which looks really, really good. Now, I'm not a huge anime guy, but I have seen several clips and bits and pieces of different episodes of the show Attack on Titan, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. And my friends who are fans of it have explained it to me, so it's actually pretty easy to follow, unlike previous anime projects that are kind of tricky for me to understand. This one I get, and wow, the live action footage looks good so far. So it's those two same Japanese directors who are now undertaking Japan's Godzilla franchise. And there was some concept art released recently of Godzilla's footprint. And of course, you know, it's got four toes. You know, it's got four toes, and they're kind of, you know, spread out like this almost, you know, two tiny ones and the two big ones. And it almost looks like, from the teaser art, it looks like a fossilized footprint, you know, which makes me wonder, and I'm curious, which direction are they going to go in terms of origin story, because this is the Japanese reboot. This is not a sequel to the most recent Godzilla film. This is a reboot. So which origin story are they going to go for? Are they going to stick with the prehistoric origin story? And please be warned, I will be referring to Godzilla, the most recent one, quite a bit in this video. So if you've not seen Godzilla from last year, I would not recommend watching this video unless you don't mind Godzilla being spoiled for you, you know, minor or massive spoilers. So you have been warned. Anyway, in the 2014 version of Godzilla, he was a prehistoric animal who was millions and millions of years old and had survived extinction by basically hiding in the center of the earth until the nuclear explosion from the 1950s woke him up. And of course, he's been alive and awake ever since. But I don't know if the Japanese are going to go that route, because with the Japanese, they make it, you know, his origin story was that he was a mutation created by radiation fallout from the very, very first atomic bomb, the one that the United States dropped on Hiroshima during World War II to end the Pacific Theater War. So it's going to be interesting to see whether it's a prehistoric origin or if it's a nuclear mutation origin. You know, Godzilla's going to be, you know, Godzilla. He's going to be big, he's going to be loud, he's going to be monstrous. But, you know, as interesting as his origin story is going to be, whatever it may choose, what I am personally more interested in is, will he be a protector or an enemy of mankind? Because in the original Japanese films, most of those movies, well, it's kind of half and half now that I think about it. Half those movies, he's the bad guy. He's either out to destroy humanity, out to destroy Tokyo, and just causing wreckage, damage, destruction, chaos, and he's just going, you know, completely apeshit, just destroying whatever's in his path. And usually it's the humans or another monster or a couple of other monsters who are like allies to humanity, and they have to stop him and fight him. But in other films, the Godzilla films that I have always enjoyed, he is more of a protector of Earth, not necessarily humanity, but he fights other threats and other monsters, sometimes aliens, monsters they bring with them, or his own fellow monsters that he doesn't get along with. Those were the Godzilla films that I always enjoyed, when he was more of an ally to the Earth instead of an aggressor or an enemy. Now, which way the Japanese are going to go, who can say? I mean, maybe because this is going to be a reboot of their franchise, it's possible they're going to want to make him a bad guy. Maybe they'll have him be an enemy, and he'll go apeshit and try to destroy Tokyo and threaten the world somehow. Or maybe they'll have Godzilla be the aggressive monster and have a different monster come along to protect Tokyo, to protect the Earth, and hold Godzilla off. Now, who that monster could be, it seems like one of the popular monsters to throw at Godzilla that the Japanese did quite a bit was Mothra. Mothra wasn't really that aggressive or much of an enemy towards humanity. So it'll be interesting to see if Mothra is the one who goes up against Godzilla, if any other monsters do appear at all. This film could be purely about the origins of Japan's Godzilla. This is going to be the Japanese' story. They're the ones who are going to control it and decide what to do with him. This could just be an origin story explaining what he is, where he came from, and how he came to be Godzilla. And what the conflict is going to be are they going to be concerned he's a threat to humanity, or specifically a threat to Japan? And will they try to eliminate him, try to kill him? Or will some other monster that nobody's ever heard of or seen before come along, threaten Tokyo, and fortunately Godzilla swoops in to stop them? Who knows? It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I believe it is supposed to be released summer of next year, summer 2016. But that is the Japanese release. That means they intend to release it in Japan in summer of 2016. As far as an American release goes, hopefully it's the same time, but it could be delayed by a couple months. I mean, we may not even see the Japanese Godzilla until fall, winter of 2016, or gosh, even possibly early 2017, although that seems unlikely because Godzilla 2, the one that's in the works right now at Warner Brothers, that one is due out for June of 2018. So to release the Japanese version, the Japanese reboot of Godzilla in early 2017, well, it could work. It could be a good marketing move. It could be a way to get people hyped up, excited, and anticipating for the second Godzilla movie, the Warner Brothers version. So maybe they'll allow the Japanese version to be released early 2017. Or maybe they'll have, they'll have it released in the summer or fall of 2016. Either way, we are getting another Godzilla movie, the point being. So be excited for it. And if you guys have your own thoughts or opinions as to what Godzilla's origin could be in the Japanese reboot, will he be an enemy or an ally to humanity, or a protector of Earth, or a destroyer of Earth, or do you think he'll be a mutation created by radiation, or is he going to be like a prehistoric dinosaur? Feel free to sound off, comment below. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the Toho reboot and the teaser art for Godzilla. And here's good luck to you boys, you two who are directing it, and keep up the good work on Attack on Titans. I like what I see so far, and I think a lot of other people do too. So moving on, last night it was released online, the first official clip, a short little teaser of Jurassic World. Not another teaser or a trailer, but like a short little scene between Chris Pratt's character and Bryce Dallas Howard's character, excuse me. And it looks like, as everyone has probably, suspected and known based on her character's appearance in the trailer and in stills and photos, she is one of the bosses, if not the boss, of Jurassic World. Like, she might be the second in command or the third in command, who maybe oversees park operations or something. But she is one of the top dogs at Jurassic World, and Chris Pratt is either equally superior as she is, or he's below her or something. And he might have been below her before once too, because they were teasing some sexual tension and flirting in that scene, which was awesome. It was Chris Pratt being, Chris Pratt, which is great. And then they confirmed my suspicion. He is indeed that character, Chris Pratt's character. I think his name is Owen. he is indeed some kind of raptor tamer or domestic, some kind of raptor tamer domesticator, because Bryce Dallas Howard is like, well, since you're so good with the raptors and you know how to control them, the owner of the park or the other boss wants to get your assessment, your opinion on the newest attraction, the hybrid. But of course, he spends most of that time kind of teasing her and flirting with her. It's like, oh, so you want to do some consulting? You want to consult out here or in my place? And he's working on his motorcycle, of course, which we will see in the film, because from the trailers and teasers, and that awesome moment in the very first trailer going way back to November, he is riding on his motorcycle with the raptors running along beside him. And that was an incredible scene. That was really, really exciting, and I can't wait to see it in the movie. And I can't wait for the movie overall. I mean, see? But yeah, I'm excited about it. I really liked the scene. Some people are already kind of complaining and bitching about it. Oh, it was boring, it was slow, bad dialogue, bad acting. Would you just relax, okay? Obviously, they're not going to show us super important stuff like dinosaurs being created or attacking people or talking about why they even created the hybrid and stuff like that. This was a pretty nice tease to an already highly anticipated film. It's either going to be a hit or a miss, like most movies, most blockbusters. It'll either do well or it won't do well. And either way, people are going to enjoy it. There'll probably be people who will hate it and say, oh, another Jurassic Park movie, yeah, we don't need one of those. 3 was enough, or 1 was enough. Or other people like myself who are huge, massive fans of Jurassic Park. In fact, it's my #1 favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. And I love the sequel, The Lost World. Jurassic Park 3, it has its moments. It's not great, and it's not horrible. It has its moments. I'm probably going to get some heat for that later, but that's just overall my opinion of the franchise. And I've always wanted to see a 4th installment of the series, and I'm glad it's finally happening. In fact, I remember like 4 years ago when this was first in development in like early 2011, because it was originally going to be slated for a winter 2014 release, and then they changed that to summer of 2015. I'm like, oh, well, as long as it's definitely happening and coming, then I have no problem with that. So yeah, I really liked this little first clip of the movie, and I'm definitely more excited about it. Of course, I've watched it numerous times over and over again, as I always do with new footage, new trailers, and teases and whatnot. But I'm excited. Chris Pratt's character is a motorcycle rider. He's some kind of scientist or some kind of, tough guy who knows how to handle dangerous animals, which is probably why he was chosen to be the raptor tamer. So, who knows? And Bryce Dallas Howard's character, they once had a fling or something, because it sounds like they had at least one date. Whether or not they slept together, who knows? Well, we'll find out. But I doubt people are going to be going to see the movie asking themselves, ooh, did those two have sex or something? No, people are going to be going to this movie to see dinosaurs attack and eat people. Let's be honest. That's what people want to see. That's what I want to see. But I also want to see raptors and humans sort of working together, because that looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on this teaser scene for Jurassic World, and my thoughts on the Toho reboot of their Godzilla franchise. So if you guys feel like I might have missed or glossed over anything, please feel free to comment and like this video and leave your thoughts and opinions. Let's try to be respectful of one another's opinions and thoughts and whatnot. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more upcoming content as summer gets closer and closer, and more importantly, as we get closer and closer to Avengers Age of Ultron. And I will be attending, if I didn't say this earlier in one of my other videos, I will be attending the midnight premiere of Avengers Age of Ultron, and that following day, of course, I will be doing a full, probably a one-hour review, most likely, and reaction to what I thought of Avengers Age of Ultron. Of course, knowing myself, I'm probably going to love it, because I like most of the films that I see, fortunately. So yeah, I'm looking forward. But stay tuned, guys, and thank you so much for watching. And until then, may the Force be with you.